There are a number of recent examples where Christians are clashing with those in authority over us. We all know about this. There are non-maskers resisting what they think to be an authoritarian government, forcing them to cover against a plandemic. There are the anti-vaxxers, some convinced that the vaccine is the mark of the beast. Others concerned that it hasn't been tested thoroughly enough. Then we have the anti-lockdown crowd, thinking that the government has far overreached in shutting down the country unnecessarily and unfairly. We know the struggles churches have had in deciding whether to let the government tell us whether we can meet as a church in a building or not. I'm not making fun or making light of any of these, but we are being perceived by the atheists as selfish, thinking mostly of ourselves and our rights, as well as putting ourself above health. They perceive us as responsible for death and strife. So what I wonder, and I want to talk to you about it, is if Christians are spending too much time and energy fighting for their rights when we should be fighting for the gospel. One thing I see distinctly in the Bible is that no matter what we do, one of our highest priorities is to live out the gospel in such a way that people will be attracted to God. Our priorities are to love God and love our neighbors and make disciples of all nations. Now let me roll through a few verses here for you. 1 Corinthians 9:22. To the weak I became weak, to win the weak. I have become all things to all men, so that by all possible means I might save some. Paul is talking about his willingness to relinquish his own freedom to bring people to Christ. What about 1 Peter 3:18? For Christ died for sins once for all, the righteous for the unrighteous, to bring you to God. The point was not to suffer for the sake of suffering in 1 Peter, but to bring people to God. And we are willing to undergo suffering to bring people to God, not wanting anyone to perish. Jesus said, "Come follow me, and I will make you fishers of men." In other words, I'm going to send you into the sea of humanity to bring people out of that sea and bring them to Jesus. You see, this is what we're after. According to Romans 15:16, our primary duty is to proclaim the gospel of God so that people might become an offering acceptable to God, sanctified by the Holy Spirit. The bottom line is, bring people to Jesus by every godly means necessary. Salt and light. If our actions are causing people to mock God or reject Him, we're in the wrong. If the result of your actions is not salvation in Jesus, then your pride and rights have superseded your call, and that's disobedience. We are more faithful to give up our rights if it will help win people to Jesus. We need to make every minute count. Let's talk about this. Use the comments below.